The S&P is clearing critical resistance here as we have a rally on our hands into the end of the month. Do we have the lows in place for the summer and on this correction in the NASDAQ as well as semiconductors? We'll talk about that and much more. It's Friday, July 31st. Happy end of month here. And rallying is the market. So Spider's up just under 1%. Same thing with the Qs, right at parity there. One thing I'll point out here about the close before we even really get into it is right now, well, first of all, we gapped up this morning and we had a pretty good sell. All it did was really retrace to the 50, like basically a 50% fib on the cash S&P. So I know I didn't go on into it, but I could feel the bearishness like coming in right there. Most rallies are going to retrace after a big move like that. You're going to retrace 50% of it. So you can see that right there. That's totally normal. And then we just kind of jumped off of that. But since then, it was interesting. And like one of the things I was mentioning in our trading room this morning was notice how the NASDAQ barely went red and the semis barely went red briefly. That's, you know, a positive sign, right? Semiconductors, it's a semiconductor correction. So if they're leading the rally, if they're not pulling back as much, it's a positive. But now at the end of the day here, they're at the Qs are at parity with the spiders. So the Qs are not participating in this last thrust here, which I do find a little bit of a minor red flag. Now it is end of month. So, you know, and I talked about this as well, even last week, so like expect us to be kind of soft at the end of the month. Just a lot of, you know, dealer gamma hedges, institutional hedges, you know, in for the FOMC as well as earnings. And a lot of those just will stay on until Friday, until they get, you know, until they actually expire. So that may be kind of explaining a little bit of it, but I would much rather prefer, you know, seeing the Qs, you know, show some strength here, especially with the VIX getting hammered. That said, you know, a beautiful trap here on Wednesday, beautiful retest of the line here. So failed breakdown is complete. You know, we're going to close above 74.80. So that is, you know, I mean, closing at the highs of the week and above all the moving averages here. So that is, you know, a positive for the S&P. That would give me a bias towards the all-time high. I will say though, there is still some short call at 7,600. So I don't think that next week we're just gonna like walk into a breakout. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, you've repaired the damage and you've reclaimed the trend here. So that is, you know, a major development. Now with the Qs, and they're closing bell here, by the way, with the Qs, and by the way, we just closed down for the month by about 9 points. So no dice on the green month there. But for the Qs, it's a little bit different, as we just kind of gapped into this area and we have sold off a little bit. It's green on the day. Yes, it's still retested 680, which was nice. We talked about that in the pre-market video, What's Moving Markets, which you can find us every morning, 8:45. If you want to trade with us, get in the trading room because we got 8 hours left on the summer sale. We've had an amazing week here as well, so get in on that while you can. But nonetheless, the retest of 680, you know, it held, we bounced back up. You know, and even on NQ here, you know, a little bit of a rejection there. Now, again, we had a massive outside engulfing candle yesterday. So taking a breather is not the end of the world, but you want to see this, you know, by Wednesday, we should try to push through this, you know, at the least. Otherwise, you know, we're in a little bit more trouble potentially. So, and again, the Qs right now, beautiful tag of the bull market trend line. You know, what can you say? It's holding on the weekly, green week, and held the weekly 20 MA too. And Ken Griffin's long, so there's that too. Thanks to his little game that we played earlier this week, which was so obvious. But anyway, so yeah, and semi's only closing up 30 basis points. Again, I wonder how much of it is end of month and just that kind of compression there. We'll see if it rolls off on Monday, but my guess is they might try to fill some of that wick out a little bit there. Either way, market's acting pretty well. I don't like how DRAM closed red again. Monday will tell us a lot more. Do these hedges start to roll off? And does that unclench higher? There is a little bit of that coming up on the S&P. So a little bit more positivity next week, but it still looks like 7,600 is their cap for now. The IWM, down 46 basis points. That's still kind of in a tight range here. This is getting really interesting here. If we flip to the RTY, you can see it like a little bit better there. Just a nice tight range. So we'll see if it can break bull. Certainly been pulling back for several weeks. Diamond here back above the 20 as well, so Dow reclaiming that. We mentioned semiconductors here. Stocks, a beautiful trap though the other day. Absolutely beautiful. I will say this on the stocks. If we do roll over, I'm going to definitely be watching like right around here. So just below that 200 day. Because you've got a 50% fib retrace from the Liberation Day low, the 200 MA and that trend line. So if we got some sort of puke on whatever next week, I definitely like down there. By the way, I did close out my SOXL, just FYI. So nice gain on that. Anyway, moving on here, IGV up 1.36, nice week. That's 6 straight for IGV. Microsoft had a follow-through day. We figured that would be able to do that. Transports, a down week, but again, holding the 100. I'd like to see that, rebound off there, obviously. TLT got a bounce into the end of the day. Yeah, it just got hammered. I mean, it just got absolutely hammered. I want to point out one thing, though, because I've heard this like 1,000 times today. The market can go up with interest rates going higher. So the macro rage, the macro pain trade is SPX 8,000 and the TYX of the 30-year at 6%. They've been going up together for 3 years, 4 years now. Why is that? That's the fiscal dominance regime. So don't be surprised if they both go higher together. Now, I'm not saying that there won't be like some tremors or whatnot, especially if you get, some more shaking in the dollar yen, that was down today. I did hold the 200. But again, this is also a coordinated operation too. So there's that. But yeah, 30-year at highs that we haven't seen since 2007. And debt to GDP is out of control. So nothing new. I get it. XHB down 83, IYR down 58, but held the 20 MA. XLF, new all-time monthly closing high. KRE, new all-time monthly closing high. So banks acting really well. Broker dealers, I believe that's a new all-time monthly closing high. It is. And it closed above last month's high too. So a lot of strength in banks. Oil up 1.25. We'll see what it does here. You got room for a higher low, for this to be a higher low. It probably needs to base a little bit. Anybody who panic bought last week looking for a, World War 20, they got bagged, so they're trapped. So it needs to work through that. If it can do that though, then probably goes to 95, maybe even 100. If not, we roll over. It's probably got a date with that 200 day again. So I have no bias on it. I will say though, XLE basically flat for the week. That's not bad. So the equities are acting pretty well. XOP, that was a beautiful, it didn't quite get to the 50 and the 20 like we talked about, but it got right there and, nice move off of it. This is still like, if you zoom out to a weekly, it's not too bad. Or even, like a monthly here, a little inside bar really. So it's consolidating above the 200 month. It's trying to change the trend here. OIH, I don't like as much as It was up today though. It did close green on the month, I guess. So there's that. Dollar was down, not a ton. Gold, oh look, gold was sideways again. No changes. You guys know what my thoughts on this. On all of these, palladium could not complete the inverse head and shoulder. Copper had a nice move. That is still very strong here. And then probably the weakest sector today that I saw anyway was Bitcoin. Sorry, BitStink. It's BitStink again. So yeah, it's in danger of losing that inverse head and shoulder. So we'll see what happens there. But obviously you want to see that push back up. Otherwise it's back to 60 and then it's got to hold there. it's still for what, if we get rid of the lines, you still have you could still make a case as a sloppy bull pattern, but it should have played out, right? Should have been able to. So anyway, yeah, nice move here. Nice rebound off the lows. Kevin Moore sucks. He has no aura. It's not fun. It's not good. We'll see if we can get up to 7,500 or if we crash next week. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Take advantage of the sale. A few hours left. We'll see you guys all on Monday.